The United stand here at Carrington Training Ground, the Aon Training Complex, looking ahead to Manchester United's second leg against Barcelona this Thursday night, Old Trafford, flag night. Everyone is looking forward to this. This has been dubbed here today as the biggest game of the season. Ten Hag, in the press conference we've just been to, was asked numerous questions regarding the history of this fixture, how big this fixture is, how big a game Manchester United against Barcelona is. Very similar to the first leg. The first leg was all about, are United back? Can United compete at the highest table? Well, we got the answer to that last Thursday with a 2-2 credible draw at the Nou Camp. A lot saying we should have got a lot more from that game, me one of them. Are we going to get what we deserve in this game on Thursday night? Looking at it here at Carrington today, we've been at the open training, obviously, like I said, the press conference, which you guys will see as well. I look at it and I go, the vibe around here, positive. Everything happening on the pitch, positive. Let's forget and put aside what's going on off the pitch in terms of the ownership just for now and concentrate on what is really important as a football fan, and that is Manchester United in the Europa League. Well, it should be the Champions League. I can't really say that this is the most important, but yeah, Europa League is what we've got. It's still Barcelona at Old Trafford under the floodlights. It's massive. It doesn't get much bigger than that in terms of European football. It really doesn't. Manchester United going into this game now can take confidence from last week, I feel. Like we're in a place right now where we can go into this game and take the game to Barcelona at Old Trafford. Everyone who's come here so far this season has been undone. The biggest teams in world football, because the Premier League is the biggest in the world. I would say Madrid, Bayern Munich, the only two other teams I think could compete, maybe Napoli with the way that they're playing. They're the only other two teams that could compete, other three teams that could say Manchester United haven't beaten here. We've beaten the best that there is. Arsenal, Liverpool, City. Hopefully Barcelona is tomorrow night, and that's the next one on the list. When you look at the teams and you look at how this game is going to be different tomorrow night than it was in the first leg, you say Barcelona look weaker, United look stronger. Positive, definitely. No Gavi, obviously suspended. Pedri's out with injury from that first leg as well. Still no Dembele for them. Busquets should be back. We'll hear from Xavi later on in his press conference about what he's saying. He may like to allude to that Portuguese guy who he said before about Bruno Fernandes. Clearly not thinking much about Manchester United's captain. Bruno will be the captain tomorrow night. Harry Maguire has just rolled up on first team training there. We just watched him alongside Anthony as well. Two more players back into first team training. Anthony Martial training on his own on the adjacent pitch. Good news for Manchester United going into this busy spell. Wembley on Sunday, Barcelona tomorrow night. We need everyone available to us to give Ten Hag the best options to change things, mix it up, change shape, whatever we need to do. His in-game management at the moment is absolutely phenomenal. It's winning us games on its own. The players, the players are feeding into Ten Hag. You could see it there. He wasn't even there in that opening training session bit that we did. It was Steve McLaren that was taking the session, but the camaraderie, the buzz around the players, it just looks like a happy camp. Going into games like this, you need to be together, you need to be as one, and it does look like there isn't an individual standing out. There isn't anyone who you would say is a lonesome player like it was with Ronaldo on days. We're clinging on to actual individuals, pulling us out of the crap constantly in games under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralph Rangnick. It's totally different now. This is a team that I feel is confident with the player next to him. I look at that back line. You say Luke Shaw coming in at centre back. I would say Raphael Varane was completely happy with that. It's like these players on the pitch that now trust the player that's alongside them, know what that player is going to be doing, knows how he moves, he's reading the game alongside him. That's what Ten Hag has installed into this team, a confidence in your fellow teammate. A confidence that he can do and think what you're going to be doing. That link up, we talk about Luke Shaw and Marcus Rashford down the left-hand side. We had it with Anthony and Wan-Bissaka. That partnership was building. Then for Ten Hag to completely mix up that front line in how Jadon Sancho plays on the right, Bruno on the right, Weghorst at 10, Bruno at 10, Sancho at 10, Rashford left, right. It's just options. And when you add more squad depth to that, it just gives you more in games when you need it, because they're not always going to play well, but we'll have that option off the bench, or a player that's now confident in playing in a different position on the pitch that can change a game. One tackle, one pass from someone who the opposition isn't expecting to play there. That's what Ten Hag's got now at his disposal. We could have numerous options there. I'm not even mentioning, we did a show with Ricky yesterday where we were talking about Manchester United's best team. We didn't even pick a position for the front four. We just picked 4 players that could play in the 4 positions, and we don't know where any of them are going to play. That is what it's like being a United fan right now. It's like I picked 4 forward players in Rashford, Weghorst, Sancho and Bruno Fernandes. They could play anywhere in that front 4. That's how mixed up it is right now. I went with Sabitzer and Casemiro as the other 2 midfielders. Fred deserves a place in this team, but I feel like Sabitzer and the way he's adapted, I think he just gives us that little bit more when it comes to games like this. That looking after the ball a little bit better than what Fred can. And I don't want to take anything away from Fred, but I feel like I'm just in saying this because now our standards have gone up. Now we expect players to actually be better than the player they're coming on to the pitch for. By that I mean it's like Fred is good, but Sabitzer has played a bit better, so he deserves to play, and Fred will have no problem with that. Being a Manchester United player who is realising that there's another player right there in the changing room sat next to you that can come and take your place. And I feel like that's what Ten Hag's biggest win is this season. I feel like Ten Hag has installed that in this squad, like I said, that they can not only trust the player next to him, but that player is also going to take your position on the bench if you do not perform to your best. And then you've got to go and earn your spot back. Look at the positions around this team and where that has happened this season. Look at left back, right back, Luke Shaw early on in the season. The performance from Malacia against Liverpool here at Old Trafford, you would say is probably one of the best we've seen. Is Luke Shaw going to get back into this team? That's my spot, Luke Shaw said. Straight back in, held it down. Malacia has had to sit and wait his chance, and when he's come on, he's done very, very well. The fact that Luke Shaw has now found another position at centre-back, I didn't see that coming. Martinez has had to sit out. We thought Martinez, the butcher, the hero of Manchester United, one of the best signings we've made in almost a decade, would be a surefire starter every single game. No, he's not. He's sat on the bench sometimes. We've had 3 centre-backs, full international centre-backs that have cost this club around about 150 million combined, sat on the bench while Luke Shaw, left-back, has been playing in that position. Ten Hag ball. Don't matter who you are, don't matter how long you've held that position down, what wage you are, what squad number you are, you play Ten Hag ball or you don't play. And I think that early on in the season was a case of Wan-Bissaka. He's then come to the fore now and said, I want a part of this. And the fact that he's brought leaders into this team like Varane, Casemiro, sorry, Varane was already here, but Casemiro, players like this, Martinez, like I just said, leaders. I think the other players have fed off that, and I think being able to, and I said if I had a question that I could have asked Ten Hag today, it would have been, is that what has been the key to your success? Managing your squad and keeping players with the experience of Raphael Varane fit all season and available for when big games like this come around. That for me is where Ten Hag has also had a big win this season. Managing this squad, I cannot fault the man for how he's managed his squad at all. It's been a breath of fresh air. Every player has had more than enough game time. No one can complain that they haven't competed and haven't played their part in this season, in this squad right now. He talks about Harry Maguire and the amount of games that he's played in previous press conferences. It's the same. This week is an accumulation of everything coming together for what Ten Hag and this team has built. This is the moment. Barcelona on Thursday and Newcastle on Sunday. This is everything that's built up through all the work and everything that I've just talked about there. These are the moments that Ten Hag has been installing into these players to stay with it mentally. Think about how you turn your careers around at Manchester United. Why? What are we working for? It's all about trophies. Ten Hag said that in his press conference just now as well. Doesn't matter about who you're playing at Old Trafford and the memories of nights and certain things like that. They're only remembered if you win. And if you take that on and then move forward and actually win a trophy. He knows what Manchester United is about. He said United need to win things. He's talked about it there again, like I said. Press conference there was all about Manchester United moving forward. He won't even think about Newcastle. It was all about Barcelona, rightly so. We cannot think that because we got a 2-2 draw at the Nou Camp, we're going to roll over Barcelona here. They have a mentality installed in their heads, like Real Madrid's last night against Liverpool. They have a mentality installed in their head that they are going to win. Barcelona think they're coming and winning here tomorrow night. That's how they see it. Barcelona are thinking, yeah, we may be missing a few key players, but they're coming to win. And that's what, they don't see themselves leaving Old Trafford without the win. They're going through to the next round. Manchester United need to be on that level and have the courage of their convictions and going forward and playing their game. It's important that we don't get deterred by a bit of quality from the opposition. Any one of them players in that forward line, we're talking about Pedri and Gavi not being in this team. You still got Lewandowski, you still got Rafinha, you still got Ansu Fati, who came on in the second half in that game at the Nou Camp and really had an impact down Barca's left-hand side. There were dangers all over this pitch, and if United take Barcelona lightly at any point in this game, we are going to get done. We're going to come unstuck. Now, I would have been fearing that in years gone by, but with Ten Hag, I just don't see that happening. He's installed that determination and concentration level in these players that I feel that we can go and take the game to Barcelona. I think we will win the game. I predicted 3-1, bold, yes, I know. But I feel like we should have scored 5 or 6 at the Nou Camp. I just feel like United's form at Old Trafford, the way we're playing, the forward lines, the players coming back, the options we've now got, I feel like United should be more than confident to take Barcelona down, and that's how I see the game going. Guys, let me know what you think. This is the big one. This is the start of a huge week for United. Obviously, the final on Sunday, put that aside. All that matters is that Thursday night, 8 o'clock, United v Barcelona at Old Trafford. Let me know what you think. Who would you play? What's your starting lineup? Score predictions, everybody. Let me know. Subscribe to the United Stand. Click that bell notification button. Obviously, we've got loads of content coming up over this busy week, and you will get notified when our videos drop. Guys, that is it. Cheers for watching. Love you all. See you outside Old Trafford.